Topping the news here at 5:30, Erie County officially has about a $2.2 billion budget for the coming year after lawmakers approved the spending plan less than a week ago. It includes a reduced property tax rate and community investments all across the county. It does not, however, include a request from the sheriff's office to spend $20 million to study the feasibility of a new combined jail somewhere in Alden. That's despite the fact that leaders on both sides of the issue believe a new jail is necessary.
And to talk more about it, right now we are joined by Erie County Legislator Tim Meyers. Tim, thank you very much for coming in this evening.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so before we dive into specifics, first, let's just see how you feel about the overall package. What should taxpayers expect?
Well, big budget, right? A lot of money, a little over $2 billion, so there's a lot of moving parts, Nobody has a crystal ball, so we do the best we can to manage. There's going to be a lot of things that are upcoming that we don't have control over. So we do the best we can to put us in the best financial spot that we can.
The property tax rate is going down, the property levy going up just a little bit. Should residents expect to pay more or less in their taxes next year?
I think it'll be just about hold the line. If it is up, it'll be just very minimal. It'll be cents on 1,000, nothing major.
You mentioned in your response when this was approved that, we'll kind of see where things are mid-year. We don't have a crystal ball. Of course, a lot of people are wondering. Times are tough, not only for individuals, people around the kitchen table, but also for governments and municipalities. What are you expecting, perhaps, that still is to come down this year? And maybe what are some of the pressures that you guys are getting outside of Erie County, like, for example, from Washington?
Yeah, I think the big question is the big, beautiful bill, what effect that's going to have on us. We pay a couple times a year to ECMC IGT payments. That's in the tens of millions of dollars. That's residents who don't have health insurance or fall through the cracks and don't get approved by Medicare. So we don't know if the states are going to push that down to the local levels. We hope not, because if that is the case, it will be disastrous for our finances in Erie County.
As Dave mentioned before, something not included is the new jail study. For those who may not know, maybe go into what exactly that entailed and ultimately why that was not included.
Yeah, well, that's the $500 million question, right?
$500 million.
That was $20 million was for the design and feasibility study on there. So just by bonding that first $20 million would have put us over the tax cap. We've heard from residents, we heard from other legislators. Nobody really wanted to do that. I think everybody's in agreement with the sheriff and the residents that we do need a new jail, but how do we pay for that $500 million, right? So that's the big question. So at this point, nobody was ready to make that financial commitment, so that's why it was removed from the budget.
Before we ask the next question, I do want to put up the statement that the sheriff had put up in response to this. This is a statement that was sent out last week in response to the Erie County Legislature removing that $20 million from the budget. This was, again, just for the study of the possibility of a new jail. Said the sheriff, or through a spokesperson, quote, "All of the experts are in agreement that a consolidated facility in Alden is the best path forward." They went on to say that it is time for us to move out of the 20th century. The cost of doing nothing is far too great. And you kind of alluded to this too just now, Tim. Here you are at the county legislature. You are the chairman. Do you and the sheriff, or do Democrats and the sheriff, need to somehow figure this thing out? Because both sides agree something has to be done.
Yeah, something has to be done, and I'm sure in the short term there is going to have to be some kind of investment in both facilities to get them up to standard, right? Sure. But we're going to have to figure out going down the road what's going to be the best course of action financially for the residents and for the sheriff's department and the county to move forward. Do
we know how long the county could wait and continue to basically patchwork the approach at the holding center downtown and the correctional facility in Alden? How long can you keep that up before essentially that money exceeds what it would have cost to even do the study in the first place?
Right. I think there's a tipping point at some point. So I think that we're going to be looking forward to having some more conversations with the sheriff, the rest of the legislature, the comptroller, the county executive, and see, yeah, something has to be done. We just have to figure out the best way. We have a lot of smart people down there, so we should be able to figure it out.
All right, moving on, there's also an emphasis on community investments. Top of mind, what are some of the group's project services that you think of?
Well, we were able to continue with our urban initiative money. That's for the cities of Buffalo, Lackawanna, the city of Tonawanda, that will be getting some relief. They pay a lot of tax. They don't have roads in the county roads in the city, so that's one way of giving back to them. One thing that I'd like to say, you know, this is my second budget as the chairman, right? And my second budget. And I've taken some heat over this. Each legislator receives $150,000 to take back into their district for senior centers, boys and girls clubs. And historically, for 30 years, depending on who was ever in the majority, the minority caucus would get half the money. And it was my idea from 2 years ago that there should be parity. Everybody is the same legislator. They should get the same amount. So it's the second year in a row that every legislator is getting the same amount of money. Again, I've taken some heat over it, but I'm willing to take that because I think it is the right thing to do. I respect my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. There are some very smart people. We don't agree on everything, but they're legislators just like I am, and they should be treated as such.
And the expenditure that Tim is talking about is $150,000 that each of the legislatures is given to spend however they wish. It could be on any kind of a project. They can give it to a nonprofit, just so long as that money stays in their district. And it used to be imbalanced. Whoever had the majority got more money. Well, Tim made it all, so all the legislators get the same. I want to ask another thing about the controller, Kevin Hardwick, had brought up recently about the audit that happened relative to the county's vehicle fleet. Pretty egregious relative to the language that's in there, how much the county keeps track or lack thereof of its vehicle fleet. This is costing, you talk about money, costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. What can be done? And should taxpayers have confidence in the county when it comes to being a financial watchdog and being good stewards with the taxpayer dollar?
Well, they should be moving forward because we're going to handle this. It should have never. My question is, why didn't this happen a while ago? I don't know that answer. But
the audit you're talking about.
The audit, yeah. And it was very eye-opening, right? So I tell you this, though. We have a legislator from Amherst, Legislator Vinyl, who is in charge now of the subcommittee. And you're going to see what she's going to do with that. So look for more to come on that audit on take-home vehicles.
We're just about out of time, but one last question for you, Tim. You know, as you mentioned at the start, of course, no one has a crystal ball. But looking ahead, how do you think this sets the county up for the future?
Well, I think it's a sober budget. You know, I think that we responsibly looked at everything and we're trying to keep things as tight as we possibly can. And we'll just wait to see what is delivered to us and we'll go from there. But I think that we'll be okay.
Tim Meyers is the chairman of the Erie County Legislature. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thank you both. Appreciate it.